going on? Welcome to Not Subtle Scene. We're going to switch up the intro today. Usually this is KJ's gig, but we're giving her some liquid energy and courage right now. So
there's no courage in here.
Well,
it's just caffeine.
It's just caffeine. I'll give you the courage, just with my vibes and my aura. It's Melvin KJ. I'm here with my good buddy Doug Smith from Smith Lending. Super excited about this episode. Doug and I go way back, man. We've known each other since post high school, I think, technically. Or were we in high school?
No, it's post high school. I was out of high school.
Fresh out of high school, yeah.
You dropped out.
Dropped out of high school.
I actually dropped out of college, if you want to get into that.
Oh.
But when I met that mortgage industry, mortgage world, and I saw, the first time I saw a profit and loss, I said, do I have to have a degree?
No.
And they said, no.
Not at
and I
all.
said,
No.
see a USF.
Yeah.
And then, that's how I got here.
Oh my God, that's great. So yeah, we kind of we went to church together. We were in youth group together. We were racing motorcycles together. Granted, he had a bicycle with an engine. Essentially, it was a 1987 Yamaha. Yes. I mean, his tires were this big. I mean, I have a video still of you hitting a corner. Yeah. And the accent was just he's gonna eat the concrete.
We were riding up in Dade City back when Dade City was super country, and we got to
Heyman Road or whatever.
Heyman Road. We got to the very end, and Mel pulls up next to me and goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I'm having a blast." And I said, "Why do you say that?" And he goes, "Because your back tire is skipping across the ground."
We're in corners, and I'm almost knee dragging on my bike. And he's literally vertical trying to turn, and the tires just. I'm like, what? We're not. Yeah. I was like, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it.
Prayed to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We were safe.
So yeah, it was definitely a good time. But I want to kind of get into that. So when we were young, we didn't. I grew up. A lot of people think I had a lot of money. My dad was really, really good and really wealthy in real estate. So we had nice things, I would say. But as soon as I was old enough to break from that, I did, and I did my own thing from basically 18 on. We were kind of young, dumb, and broke at one point. I had my cool vehicles, and that's what everybody always remembers me by, what vehicle I had when they met me, which was funny. I think when I met you, I had the big yellow FJ Cruiser.
FJ Cruiser, yep.
Yeah,
yellow.
Yeah. So
you had a yellow car?
I've had 2 yellow cars, oddly enough. Yeah.
I just can't see it.
School buses, short bus.
It was awesome. I had a 2001 Mustang GT. Remember that?
Yes.
Joe Sanchez.
Oh my
Shout out Joe
gosh,
Sanchez.
yes.
Loved that thing. Would drive it all the time. And Mel had his yellow FJ Cruiser.
Yeah,
so we got along like 2 peas in a pod,
Oh my God, that was great. But yeah, it's cool to see the transition. I want to get into some numbers and some things, and you can correct me. I pulled some stats just to get an idea. And these, we always know these stats are skewed. So there's still pretty good freaking numbers here. To go from where you were and what we weren't doing to where you're at now is just phenomenal. For those of you who don't know who Doug is, when I got back into this industry, I think the cool thing, and we've talked about it, KJ and I, it's how our circles have all intertwined now. And, I'll talk to people and be like, oh my God, you need to meet my lender, Doug. And they're like, oh yeah, I use Doug. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then he has the same interactions where now he'll just randomly FaceTime and be like, hey, I met somebody else who knows you.
Right.
So it's,
I need to start doing that with you too.
Yeah,
you should.
Yeah, I do.
It's hilarious, but it's so cool because we're in this relationship building era. Lending is lending. I still have my license. I don't do anything with it, but I know lenders. I know of lending. I know how to be a lender. A lot of people aren't doing it right. So that's what I really, really love about what Doug does is I haven't had a single person say anything negative. And everyone is obsessed, and they know they can trust Doug.
I've never heard.
And one of my favorite things that I hear is communication.
Maybe that I call it too much.
I
think that's the only complaint that I have.
I don't think a lender can call too much.
Yeah. I don't
that's
think
what
so.
I say too. That's my rebuttal to that. But I think my only complaint is my follow-up game might be a little bit too much sometimes. So.
I don't
even believe that exists.
I think that's what brings you above the rest, because a lot of people, that's the normal complaint. Title company side and mortgage side is communication. There's no communication.
It can be a negative in some sense. So that's one thing I have learned over the years, because when I was really young, 25, going off my own, you learn that how hot is a lead hot for. Do you know the answer for that? Until they call the next lender or title company or whatever. Right, exactly.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So
True.
you only have so much time to get in front of somebody.
Yeah.
So I used to call at 8 a.m. and then call at 3 p.m. and then text at this and then email.
That's what a lot of the books say to do and shit.
That's what the books say to do. But what you really have to do is learn how to tailor that to the individual, right? And you guys are mainly like I am too, right? You're mainly referral based.
A lot.
I would say a lot.
A
Not
lot.
mainly, but a lot.
Yeah.
Where does the rest of your business come from? No, I'm just curious.
We go out and meet people, and they fall in love with us.
But that's referral based. So, like, what did you
That's
have?
referral based?
Totally.
No.
I could see
People?
that.
The word
Yeah.
people.
No, I
yeah,
could
if you
see
go
that.
out and meet
People is
people.
referral. Yeah.
I'm saying you guys don't get leads from like the internet.
No, we
Oh,
don't.
no,
No,
no.
we don't pay for leads. We
That's
don't do
my
any of
point.
that. A lot of ours is referral, word of mouth.
Totally. So word
visibility.
of mouth.
Visibility
So
is huge.
KJ,
Social
word
media.
of mouth is what I mean there, right? And if you're word of mouth, then it's more relational in the sense that like you don't want to blow that person up so much to where that person, let's say you refer to me by Mel, I call you, and then you go back to Mel and you're like, that dude is annoying as hell. That's my point.
Right.
So you really have to be like subtly aggressive.
Subtly aggressive.
But I think once you're in contract with someone or in file
totally
with them,
different. Totally
they
different.
want to hear from you.
But if you're trying to initiate that,
It's tricky.
Yeah, and what I like about you too is I feel like you do a lot of the outside of the box things. I hear from realtors all the time, like, I don't want to go to coffee with you. I don't want to like.
Why do they?
I feel like you do so much more than just let's grab coffee. You know what I mean? Like you have real conversations. Like I've been in your office when you're on the phone with people. Everybody has like a nickname. Like it's always fun. Like the phone calls aren't like I'm just calling to give you an update on your loan. Here's where we're at. Like it's like a whole thing.
hi Mel, I see you do great work in our area.
I know that's what a lot of it is, and people are so tired of that boxed up thing. So with that, you know, some of the numbers that I pulled that I have down here, and this is a 14-month window. We're looking at over 189 loans, over 68 million in volume. Diamond tier, looks like collectively 11
Diamond
plus years
tier.
in lending.
What's
Is
that
that valid?
Yep.
Love that. So what I want to get into, because these are questions that I've had that I've never had the opportunity to ask you. When the hell, like when did all this start happening? Because you were at a place before this. Was there a place before that, before you started running your own? Like, how did you get into lending? Like, when did that even happen?
He dropped out of UC,
College.
USF, yeah.
Yeah.
USF, and he
And
said,
then I'm
"I'm
here.
gonna go make some money."
Yeah, then I'm here. Yeah.
And then
That was
he
it.
blinked,
Overnight.
Now you're here. How
That was
old
it.
are you?
34,
30.
34.
24.
34, yeah.
Wow, you look great. So when you were 22? No, 20 when you dropped
Had
out?
to be.
So, do you want the whole story?
Yeah.
Of course
You
we
want
do.
the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
All right.
Just the facts.
So help me God.
Okay, so I got into this industry in 2012.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh my God, that's when I joined the military. That's
You'll
wild.
love this story, Mel. I don't know if you know this story.
I don't.
Do you remember Jenny?
Net.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
From
yeah.
the block?
I love
Jenny from the
Jenny.
block. Yes,
I
you
know.
did.
I
Yeah.
know.
No, I
I
don't
did.
know. Is she a
I
lender?
thought Jenny was.
No.
I thought Jenny was the one for me while I was figuring my life out. Yeah.
That's why I didn't say last name. I just
Yeah.
threw first name out there.
I
but-
love Jenny to this day. She's such a sweetheart.
Okay. So Jenny,
gotta
we were
do-
hanging out and she said, "Do you want to go to my boss's house? I have to go there."
That's right, because I used to drop her off at a mortgage office.
Yes. Yep.
Holy crap. Okay.
So it was like we were watching The Office. It was like late at night. She had to go to her boss's house. It's like
That
I
sounds
don't know,
normal.
8 p. Well, they were
The
doing
boss,
like some,
yeah, no, boss was pretty cool. They always did stuff.
yeah. They were
Yeah.
doing like some event. She had to drop off some marketing stuff, and I'm like, "What am I doing? Let's
It
go!"
was right off of by that Walmart on the Bears or whatever that street is. With the, yeah. Holy
Right down the
crap.
street from here. Yeah. So anyway, so we went to her boss's house, and I was like, "Yeah, of course." And I'm from Pasco, right? Pasco County, because you lived
Yep.
in Carrollwood at the time.
Yeah, I was, town of country, town of Compton.
Same
Yeah,
thing. So,
same
for,
thing.
but for me, that at the time, that was like, I mean, where you lived was like that was Tampa to me.
Yeah.
So when she said, "Let's go to my boss's house," it was like, yeah, sure. And I remember driving through downtown, and I was like, "Whoa,
This is downtown?
This is a city. These are big buildings. This is crazy."
Yeah.
And we went to her boss's house, and she lived in the reserves of Old Tampa Bay, which was like mansions on the water.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whoa, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
And,
People live like this?
And so that is when I met the one and only Jane Floyd.
Okay.
And that was my first interaction with her. And I was like, I told Jenny, we left, I said, I don't know what that lady does, but I want to work for her.
Okay, you're gonna have to fill me in. I don't know who Jane Floyd is.
So she leads NFM lending out of like Florida, out of Tampa.
Okay.
Super high producer. You
Yeah.
should meet her. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
Like she's fantastic.
God, I remember that name too. Holy crap, this is bringing back memories.
Would you like to give us a referral?
Yeah. Call
Yeah.
her. Tell her I gave you a number. I gave you your cell phone number. But anyway, so she, I got the job as a receptionist. I started answering the phones. And what's crazy, actually, you'll understand this because you understand the broker world. KJ, you probably understand it too. But the AEs, the account executives that worked with that brokerage at that time, which is like 12, 13 years ago, I still work with to this day.
Oh,
Isn't that funny?
Holy crap, that is
13,
cool.
14 years later. Dang.
Lance Lay, Debbie Parker, like all these people I still work with now. Yeah, I have really, really deep relationships. So anyway, so I started working at Jane's office. I'm the receptionist, and that, yeah, I mean, I don't know where you want to go from there.
So
but
you started as a receptionist, and
How'd
then
you-
at what point did you take that leap into the lending part?
Because
Yeah.
they don't just go, hey, receptionist, run this file for
Well,
me.
you were. I know you well enough to know you were probably soaking everything up all
Yeah.
day, every day as you're in there, learning what to do, what not to do, and then
Yeah.
at some point you were like, okay, I'm doing this.
I was like that little annoying kid. I would be in the office manager's office, like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? That was like how I was.
Do kids do that? Never seen my kids do that.
No, I knew I needed to get my foot in the door somewhere.
Yeah.
So actually, before I did that, I was actually a line cook at Carrabba's. So before, but like
don't remember
way
that.
before, I know, right? Way before all that, my uncle, to this day, still is like a financial advisor. At the time, he was like selling. He does way different things now, but was selling annuities at the time.
Okay.
And so from there, I started working at Carrabba's, where they didn't even want to hire me because I had no experience. But I told the manager, like in an interview like this, I was like, "Well, what's the game plan for this whole kitchen thing?" And he's like, "Well, you'll do 3 months on salads, 3 months." This is when Carrabba's had pizzas,
What?
3 months on pizzas, and then 3 months on the hot side, which is. And I said, "I'll do all that in 3 months. I'll get to the grill in 3 months." And he was like, "Sure, kid." So the first day that I started at Carrabba's, I got the menu. And the cook.
You got the menu.
The cook. Well, there was like this on a three-ring binder. It was like all their recipes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, I put that in my pocket and I took that home that night, and I memorized the whole thing that night at the age of
What?
like 19 or 20.
Back when our brains worked. Wow.
But that's my point. So that's my mentality. And then I learned the whole thing in like 3 months. I was only there for 3 months. I
Yeah.
got the job at.
So you can cook, is what I'm hearing.
I can line cook. It's totally different.
Right.
Yeah. It's totally different. But it's like you're fast
Barbecue.
paced.
Barbecue.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
You live in a country. What do you mean?
So I took that mentality to the to this little mortgage brokerage
Yeah.
shop where I was just like, I got my foot in the door. Now I just got to learn.
Right.
So I started as a receptionist, and I'm kind of like funny, especially at the age of 20. I'm like really funny answering the phone, right? Then people would call in and be like, "Diversified Home Mortgage, how may I help you?"
Stop it.
And then they would laugh, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, is this Debbie?" Because I could see their caller ID. Because at the time, like it was,
Oh.
Yeah.
So everybody loved you.
right. And then
Which
so,
is it's out of the norm. I mean, even to this day, that kind of personality, and I mean,
so
that's how people
rare.
are drawn to us because we do the same thing. We're just like, I'm not going to
at the end of
cut this.
at the end of this podcast. I think we can all agree it's all about relationships,
100%.
Right.
which is how I opened it with you, because you're all a relationship based, right? I said that
That's
for
right.
voice, right? So
Tying it in.
so so actually, okay. So another piece of this was she was a coach for a coaching company called The Core,
Okay.
which I am a big fan of The Core. And she used to get these CDs in the mail, and part of my job as the assistant was to get the CD, put it on iTunes, and put it on her phone. Remember, like,
Oh yeah,
Oh, my
yeah. When you had to
gosh.
import and then create the little
I
All that
do
playlist and all
remember
that.
that.
So one day I was like, "Hey, can I take one of these CDs home?" And she was like, and there was like there was a whole drawer of them. I just picked one up, and it happened to be How to Work Your Database by a real estate agent out in Woodlands, Texas. And so I took
That's
that
before
home.
that's before their time making CDs like that.
It was a CD, and I
Wow.
listened to it. It was about an hour long, and it had like do this, and this. And I went back into the office, and I'm like, "Yo, why aren't we doing all this stuff right here?" And she was like, "Let's do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So for the next 4 or 5 years, I got to be her direct assistant, help her with her coaching, help her with her events, help with the database, help with the profit and loss.
Yep.
That's why I dropped out of USF. Like I got to do everything. So that was my into everything. I started producing in 2017, being my own loan officer, driving in my own business.
And that was at a different company.
Yeah. Who were we just talking about in here? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Not to
JG.
put you on the
You know what I'm
spot.
saying?
Yeah.
Well,
That's right.
Well, I worked for BM.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Brian Marks. Shout out Brian Marks.
Yeah, Brian Marks. Okay.
Who are these
You don't know any of these people because once you're a good producing loan officer,
You don't need to be out there
you don't need to be out there anymore.
hitting
Yeah.
the streets.
So why am I here?
Not the streets. Not the streets. We're here to share a story, dog.
You're not on the streets though. Like people refer you because they love you. Like every person that I've known that's used you has been like, you've got to use my lender to their friends.
So I started producing on my own, and I'm taught by the legendary Jane Floyd, so I know how to cold call. So I'm cold calling real estate agents. I'm trying to have lunches and coffees with them, and I'm good at that.
Yeah.
I'll call 100 people a day. I'll get 5 meetings. 3 of those will meet with me. I'm having 25 meetings a week. Like,
Wow.
I'm very calculated in what I do.
It's a numbers game at that
It's a
point.
numbers game. I'm not afraid of the phones. So, and that's ultimately, if people were to take anything away from this podcast, I think that's what people don't do. I don't think they make the calls.
No, they don't make the calls. They're scared to make the calls.
I'll tell you right now, they don't make the calls.
No.
Because we hear them say, I don't want to make calls. How else do I get leads?
Yeah,
So-
How
make the
often do we hear
calls.
that?
But I think the fear, but they don't. A lot of these people, and I've worked with a lot of different brokerages too, that are making the calls. No one's taking the time. A lot of people don't have those skills like right off the bat, like we have, where we're just like, we can just sit there and talk to anybody and they'll be our friend in a few minutes because that's just our personalities. A lot of these people are like anxiety, like they have anxiety over talking to people. So they literally pick up the phone like that.
Hi.
Hey, you lost me. You just stuttered for the first 30 seconds. Yeah. Like we're done. And I'll move into the next guy. So if you were to call and break the ice with some funny shit like you normally do, I'm already in. I'm like, all right, what do you want to tell me? Tell me what you want to tell me. And I'm in because you made it fun. You made it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys lead this conversation however you want it to go, but now we're in this is my sauce, my jam. I love this stuff. So
Let's do it.
if you want to talk about cold calling, I'm cool with that. I will say
That is actually something I wrote down because I wanted to talk about your methods and what you think works and what could help someone else. And I think it's helpful on both sides, whether you're a lender or you're in real estate. I think the cold calling piece is a lost, trait that people don't have anymore. They're not doing it.
It's an art.
And not even cold calling, but like this. I met with a real estate agent the other day, and they made the comment like, "Well, you're a lender, so all you have to do is call real estate agents." And I'm like,
Really?
"Well, that's just well, no, but like that, but it can seem easy, right? It's always easier on the other side." And my philosophy was like, "Well, yeah, but there's like 10 people calling you. You're the real estate agent. You just have to call your past clients and other business owners." And then doing some role play at lunch,
Right.
they were like, whoa, that was amazing. And I'm like, right. So if you just call and say like these simple things, but you do it consistently over time. I was talking to one of my AEs so Lance Lay, best AE at Freedom Mortgage. Shout out Lance Lay. I love the dude.
So many shout outs.
Yeah. I was talking to him.
Share the love.
And he said, he was like, "Bob," I'm like, all right. I was like, let me get off the phone. I got to go call more people. And he was like, who are you calling? I'm like, I'm calling real estate agents. And he's like, oh, you're still doing that? And I'm like,
Isn't that crazy? That's the response.
I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, I just thought with your level of business, you wouldn't do that anymore. And I'm like, dude, that's why I have this level of business. Because I'm doing these things, right? So that was one thing that I just thought of when you said that.
What a good point, though. There's so many people that get in that mindset of like, oh, you've already made it. You don't have to do all those things. Well, if you want to continue to make it, yes, you do. And it's the same concept. We've had conversations with Tony, our owner and stuff, where we've played with other ideas. And one of the ideas he was toying around with was like, giving us more time back and giving us more freedom by, hiring someone to help us do brokers opens or open houses or to do these events and things, but at the end of the day, a lot of the times we're the reason people want to do those events. If I was to send some other person or have some other voice or personality behind it, it's not going to have the impact. Same thing in you. You can have your assistant or John or somebody else that works for you do things for you, but it's not going to have the same impact as it would if you picked up the phone. And you've probably dealt with this a lot too. I dealt with it a lot at Fairway. And, we've even dealt with it a lot on the title side where people just get upset that there's so many hands in the pot. Like, I just want to talk to my lender. I don't want to talk to his assistant. I don't want to talk to the side person. I don't want to talk to, I want to talk to my lender. So I think it's huge that you take the time, even at the level that you're at now, to build those relationships and not only to build them, to maintain them. And they're real. They're not fake. You're not faking this because you want a paycheck. Like, these are real friends. I've heard your calls. Like, these people they love you and you love them, and it shows.
Keep going. If you wanna like take notes on what we should talk about, but to wrap up the conversation real quick of what you originally asked me a long time ago. So
the galaxy far, far away.
So I started as an assistant. I started producing, and then I found the broker world. The broker world has
broker world's wild.
Super debatable. This is my opinion on things. I'm trying to get the best rate for the individuals involved.
Right.
Also, what I needed to do was become a master at loans. I needed to learn how to calculate income and be able to review taxes and know guidelines. I need to be, just for me personally, I have to be the smartest guy with loans.
Makes sense.
I need to feel that confidence if you're real estate agents, or even if you're like whoever you are, if you're coming to me for the answers, I need to know the answers. On the way here,
Right.
my team called me with a few different problems we're having on loans, and I'm like, look, break it down into this, focus on this, go attack these things for me. They're calling me right now, just probably tell me that they took care of it. But like, I need to know what's going on. I don't want to have a team. I mean, I have a team, but I don't want the team running everything for me. And then
You're like blind.
You're lost in the
You're like
sauce,
blind.
yeah.
Yeah, you're like blind to
I'm
what's
complete
really
opposite.
happening.
I have to know what's going on.
Right.
So for 20 after the COVID thing.
Yep.
2020, we're doing a lot of refis. I remember at one point I had 18 loans in my pipeline, and the guy I worked for at the time was like, "Doug's the best at our company. He's got 18 loans." And I look, and it was like 17 refis, and I was like, "That's terrible. I got to fix this real quick."
Hilarious.
So then I shifted, and I went back to purchase, and like, but yeah, I really focused on really knowing the loans themselves. I started my company just because someone said, "Why don't you start your own company?" And I'm like, "I don't know how to do that." But what happened
It's got to be scary at first, though.
Well, what happened was I started doing all my own loans. I'm doing all my own disclosures. I'm basically processing my own loans. I can do everything at this point. So why am I working for somebody else?
And that probably cost you more money, right? To do it the other way.
Totally.
To have all those
So
channels.
I opened up my own company. I've already got the relationship set with the investor. I told you, I've been working with these people since I was a receptionist. I've been doing these people forever, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it was very simple for me to
That's
open up my own
relationship
company.
building, not only with your clients, but with your coworkers. Just
Yeah,
saying.
as you grow, you bring them with you.
Yeah. So now I own my own company. I named it Smith Lending because I didn't want anyone to work for me at the time. I just wanted to be my own producer and just do my own thing. And it was successful. I get most of my business from listing agents on a deal who I do follow up with them, but
Whoa, you get most of your business from the listing agent?
well, because it's a new relationship. So they get to see how I
Interesting.
operate, and they're like, wow, no lender has gone, because again, I'm doing the loans. I know everything going on with my files.
Yeah.
They're like, this is crazy for a
Which is
loan officer
not the
to know
norm
this.
for most lenders.
It's not the norm. I get
Especially those big box guaranteed rates and rockets and bleh.
Yeah, no, thank you
On
to
it.
any of that.
USAA, even my military folk, don't do it. Navy Fed, USAA, it's a trap.
If you're listening to this and you're thinking about buying a house, do not go through Wells Fargo, Chase,
None of the big
Navy,
banks.
Federal.
They're
none
not
of them.
licensed. None of those people are licensed. There's
Those
like one licensed person per team.
They're great banks.
I can't stand
They're
it.
not great mortgage lenders. So go with a local person that knows like your stuff like that. We tell it to people all the time. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know there was a difference." People just don't know.
Just
But
don't
I
know.
did have a question. So when did you open Smith Lending?
2021.
2021. We're in 2025. So almost 4 years ago.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I started just because of like I could better control the process, and then I hired my first assistant because my wife got pregnant, and I said, "Do you want me to be on the phone in the delivery room?" And
I
she
will
said, "No, not really." So
She's like, no.
So I hired my first assistant. I looked at my calendar. If you want, again, y'all talk about whatever you want.
No, this is great.
I time blocked like a 9 to 5 time block at a time. Now I time block 24-hour time blocks because I have kids, so I want to know like when I sleep. And,
Oh,
like,
we'll
when
get
I
into
take care
that
of the
too.
kids.
That's on my list.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm super organized in that sense. But I looked at my calendar and I saw drive time. I had about 2 hours of drive time every day. So my thought process was if I could hire someone to drive me around, I can make phone calls for 2 more hours, right? So Megan, who's like my director of ops now, was originally my driver. I hired her as my driver. And in her interview, I made her drive me around Tampa in my Escalade.
That's hilarious.
Just to see if you can handle.
Yeah, and she drove okay, so I was like, okay, cool, we'll hire you.
She drove okay. We
Okay.
didn't get in an accident.
Escalade's a pretty big thing to drive around too.
Yeah,
So.
and then she curved my rims one time, and I was like, you're out.
Oh my God! Did you see? I just posted about that today. I'm
You're
like,
out. I'm promoting.
I was like, literally, I just put that on my story today. I'm like, girls, why is it such a thing to curb your wheels? And not only that, you've had a Tesla before. Like, you've been in my Tesla.
I'm not curbing stuff.
How do you curb a wheel in a Tesla? Because it literally has everything on the screen. Like, I can see where everything is. I don't understand, but all the wheels are curbed. And I always pull up. I'm like, please be a dude. Please be a dude. 99.9% of the time, it's a woman, and they're on their phone.
Yeah, see, there's that right wing stuff I was talking
Crazy.
about. So, anyways, so then,
Seriously,
Wild.
bro.
I'm just speaking facts. Do not curb your. She just got a brand new BMW X6, and that's what I'm most afraid of.
All
Is
right, hold on.
I made sure she got the wheel and protection plan.
So I'm kidding. So I actually get car sick. So I would drive and I would make Megan
You're a
feed
mess.
me calls, and she would keep up the notes in my CRM. So she got to
So you
learn
just
the
had, like, a headset?
CRM.
You're just driving around like with a
No,
headset.
they would be in my car, so she would hear all the calls. So she would just take notes, put the notes in, and then when I hung up, she got so fast that she would already have the next call ready for me. And I was like, "Yo, did you take those notes?" And she's like, "I got it. Next call." So me and her got into a
Wait, can
super
we get a
good
Megan?
rhythm. Yeah, she's
Can I have
awesome.
a Megan?
So me and her got into a super good rhythm, and then it was me and her. And then she got so good that I didn't want her driving around with me. I wanted her to like sit in the office, be able to take phone calls. I took my cell phone number, I moved it over to a voice over IP, so that way that she could see my text messages, because iPhone doesn't let you have that on multiple platforms. They do, but it doesn't really work that well.
Complicated, yeah.
So we started doing that, and then it was me and her, and then me and her have grown, and we start looking at like the next hire, and it's like, well, who should we hire? Most loan officers would say, all right, let me hire another operational member. But for me, what was my biggest thing? What gets me most of my loans? I don't know if you remember, listing agents. Why do listing agents call me? Because of my operational flow. So I need to be in loans. So I need a marketing director. So that was my next hire, was a marketing director, and we're figuring that out. Everyone I hire is like a super slow to hire. We grow super slow, but very consistently.
Well, slow to hire, quick to fire. That's like the millionaire way.
I'm pretty quick to fire.
Yeah,
But
once you're messed up too much, you gone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you really got to pay
so we've
attention
got
to
two
that.
full-time staff right now. I've got 2 contract processors. So there's 4 of us, and we'll do all the numbers that Mel just said with that many people.
Let's go over those numbers again for those who forgot.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty wild. And 14-month rolling over 189 loans, over 68 million dollars in volume in 14 months. So that's wild.
And that's without my marketing guy like full blown. Like in the next year, we'll get him like really ripping, and we'll hit some really cool numbers with a very small team.
So I'm going to skip to a section that I want to talk about that ties in with the numbers, the volume, and your growth and everything that's happening, right? You have a family. You have kids. How many kids do you have? Wait, don't you have 2?
2. Yep.
Crazy. So you have 2 kids. You have like a whole ass farm or ranch or something, like way out yonder.
You have a yonder farm?
Yeah, he lives out yonder.
We've got 40 acres.
40 acres.
Yeah.
Yeehaw. That's what I said. He better know how to barbecue. I mean, I feel like if you have 40 acres, you have to barbecue
When
something.
did you get that?
In the past couple of years.
Oh. Yeah.
It's just been,
I say that like I know
from
you
the
wanted
outside
to.
looking in, it's just been so incredible having known you so long, to see where you were, to see where you are, and to see where you're headed is just mind blowing to me, because, the Doug that I knew and kind of grew up with and hung out with, we were always just kind of like living in the moment, just doing our thing, not really focused on the future or what's to come, just kind of running around, grabbing food. I mean, how many times did we were trying to save money? We were eating at the hospital. We would have lunch at the hospital all the time because it was so cheap, right there off of Van Dyke.
They just let anybody walk
No,
in?
we would go to the rooms, and if like the person had just died, we would just take the food.
Oh my God.
Stupid.
I'm kidding.
With all our church friends. No, we would like
God, accept this person and bless this food to our bodies.
Amen.
we would just go get food there. It was crazy. And then, we was all Chris Ennis. We're always with him too. Motorcycle guys and gym stuff. Like we didn't really, I don't know. I felt like we didn't really have a direction or
Yeah, that
motivation.
time of
then.
my life, honestly,
It was a blur.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question that I think a lot of people get stuck on? What do you attribute this type of mentality that you have around your business
Good
to?
one.
Do you have like a coach? Were you brought up this way? Were your parents like this? Did you have a mentor? Because not everyone is like this, right? They're kind of just living day to day and not really having a plan.
So at one point when I was in middle school, my dad did make a lot of money selling annuities. So I got to see having a lot of money and like what that brought to life.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then we lost everything in the crash.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we sold everything and moved
The
to the
08
Philippines.
crash.
Yeah.
Not
You
the
moved to the
Philippines.
Philippines.
Yeah, we were like missionaries in the Philippines.
I never know
and,
what to
like,
believe with him.
Right.
I
I'm
don't know
like,
what
are you
you're-
being
This
serious?
is a true
like
one?
with the hospital
Yeah, we lived
food?
in San Pablo City and a Cubo. Like, yeah,
What?
yeah, totally.
No, I
What's
said
up?
Spanish. They must
Ikaw ay
speak that
maganda
Spanish.
babae. You know what I'm saying?
Oh!
For those that know.
I'm going to have to translate that later.
Yeah, put your glasses on and translate.
You are
Yeah.
a beautiful woman. That's all I know.
Oh, well,
Oh, that's what they say down there.
that's funny.
That's what they say.
And then, yeah. So, and I knew I had to work hard if I wanted to make anything. That's how I like learned the whole menu at Carrabba's, and then starting to work for Jane Floyd. I saw that, I got to see her mansion at the time, and And I knew if I just worked really hard, I could probably achieve that. And so that was the biggest blessing ever, was getting to work with her, in the sense that, like, one of my favorite stories is, we were down in the Keys, and we were supposed to go fishing, and it was like 7 a.m. and she like called me and was like, "Where are you? We got to like get stuff done before we go out on the boat." And I'm like, 100%, let's go.
Let's do it.
And so I like went over to their condo on their side. But you know, you don't know Jane. Do you know her?
I did not get to meet her.
So look,
no.
so she's like 4 foot tall, right? They call her Mighty Mouse, and it's like 7 a.m. in the Keys, and this lady is like running up and down this jetty, getting her workout in while on the phone talking to a real estate agent.
Yeah.
So that is what I experienced for 4 years. Everybody and their mother was like, "What's this lady's secret? How does she do so much business?"
She works her ass off.
She's just on the phone.
Yeah.
All the time. She's just making calls all the time.
And Doug's really good at that too. I mean, it's something when you are friends with, married to, family with someone in the real estate industry,
All those prepositions.
all those things. If you're just that close to someone in this industry, especially on the mortgage real estate side, one thing I've gotten used to with Doug is when I see him call, I'll answer the phone, and I will know almost 99.9% of the time, mid-conversation, peak of the conversation, "Oh, I got to call you back. Oh, I got to call you back," right? But he's really good at it. Like, he will not miss the call. He will take care. He's like, "Oh, nope, I have to take this. I will get back to you." And he always gets back to me, whether it's a phone call, a text message, or there's always a follow-up. But it's so cool to see that, which, I'm saying that I'm leading into is like, how, for those that are listening and watching, however you're doing this, right? Like, how do you balance that with the kids, with the life? Because I feel like you're always working, right? But I feel like your spouse probably is really, in tune with what's going on and supports you to allow you to do that. Do you have certain times a day where you're like, you know what, I'm not working, this is my kids' time? Any of that? You just kind of blend it all in and make it work?
Yeah, so how do I describe this? Like, again, I got to work for Jane. She was a coach for this coaching company. It was all millionaires that worked in this. So it's like super high producing people, and they were really family focused, in the sense that, like, you work 9 to 5, and at 5 you shut that light off and you say, "I did my best today," and you leave the office.
It's so hard to do in this industry.
Yeah. So I'm that way. I'll leave the office. Well, today I got another event I got to go to, but like most of the times I'm leaving the office by 4 p.m. and I'll get home. We live in the middle of the country, so it takes me an hour to get home. I'll get there by 5 p.m. and I got cows to feed and all this other stuff, but I get phone calls after hours, right?
Yeah.
I'll pick up the freaking phone while I'm feeding the sheep or the cows or whatever.
Right.
And maybe
sheep?
Yeah, we got a couple sheep. But yeah, so I'm super dialed in with my calendar.
Yeah.
I'm super dialed in with the activities that I need to be successful, and I'm super dialed in with, like, yesterday, I met my wife. There's that new Cheesecake Factory up in West
Oh,
Chapel.
yeah.
So we had lunch there at like 2:30, and I was on the phone like half the time at the Cheesecake Factory. But I'm also at lunch with my family.
Right.
So there is that give and take where, it's like it's 2:30, but does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. We live that life too.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But you have to have a supportive family. You can't have a family that's like, "God, you're always on the phone." Because then it's like, that's why we're at this resort. That's why we have this.
This is why we
house.
have this. This is why we're getting this new car. This is
so
why we're doing this new thing.
cute. It's so cute. I've got a 2-year-old.
Adorable too.
His name's Emerson. He's the most adorable thing in the world. But like, he knows. Like, yes, we were at Cheesecake Factory, and I got a text, and I'm like, I got to make a phone call. And he was kind of losing his mind already because he didn't want to be there. He wanted to go on the choo-choo train, and like, and he was like crying because he's like, no lunch. Like, he wanted to go
have fun.
He didn't want to eat.
I said I had to go outside to make a phone call, which he would freak out because I'm leaving. And I said, I got to go to work. And he goes, "Daddy's got to go to work."
Now he knows.
Oh.
And that was it. I just walked out. I took the phone call. I came back in.
Cute.
And we're super cool. But like, even my 2-year-old knows Daddy's got to go to work.
And he'll be back.
And he's totally cool with that.
Right.
Aww.
Yeah. It's totally
Good
cool.
job, Emerson.
That's good. And I think it's huge too. I've had these conversations with agents and stuff who like to kind of, I don't know what the word is, but they always want to be like super, super polished. And then like, "Oh, I can't take this phone call right now. I'm in the middle of something. My kid's doing this."
No.
I'm like, no.
Answer the freaking
Answer the
phone.
phone.
That's my philosophy. When I first got started, I was like, "Well, I can't answer right away. I don't want to think that I'm not busy, blah, 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 blah." No, answer the phone right away. If you can't answer the phone, text message. That's my biggest thing I'm trying to teach my team. And team, if you're listening, Jesus.
I mean, even just a simple text message like, "Hey, I'm in the middle of something right now, but I will call you back real quick."
Exactly.
I
Hey.
do that religiously.
Hey, I got your text. I'm going to run those numbers for you right now.
Yeah.
That's
Yep,
it. Like,
I can't
you see
pick
what
up
I'm
the phone right now. Like, and it doesn't have to be. And here's the thing: I'll definitely tell people to refrain from. It's starting to get so prevalent that like they're making TikToks about it. Is the people that always pretend they're in meetings. I can't. I'm in a meeting right now. I'm in a Zoom meeting right now. I'm always in a. You're always in a meeting. You're in a meeting from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Be honest. Like, it's okay to be like, hey man, I'm taking care of my kid real quick. I'll give you a call back. Like, I tell my agents all the time, like, they'll call, I'll miss them. Like, hey, I'm in the middle of like trying to feed this kid. As soon as I get this settled, I'll reach back out to you. Just give me a minute. No, never have I ever gotten pushback on that or someone say, ew, no, call me now. You know, and if it is that urgent, I can lean on KJ, be like, hey man, I have an urgent thing with so-and-so. I need you to, can you reach out or whatever, right? But honestly, to your like relationship building, what I have found, and you probably can attest to this too, you know, when the dog barks and a cow moves or a sheep makes a noise or whatever, that's a new conversation started. Like, is that a dog? Yeah. Oh my God, what kind of dog do you have?
Yeah.
And then you're in this whole new thing where you're talking about things you've never talked about with a client. Had you just waited to be in that perfectly soundproofed room to make that phone call, that interaction never would have happened. But I think a lot of people got to get out of that mindset of like, I got to be perfect and polished. And that goes for social, that goes for phone calls and everything. Like, you don't have to be perfect and polished. You just have to be you and be real.
Yeah,
and people will eat it up.
My biggest pet peeve was like it was like kids in the background when I'm on the phone. But if it's after 5, this is the way I think about it. If it's after 5, it's understandable to have kids in the background. And I'll say that. I'll be
100%.
like, yo, it's 6. Like, you're gonna hear my kids scream, and they'll be appreciative of that.
Yeah.
If I'm in the barn and like it gets really serious, then I have an office in the barn, so I'll just like walk in my office now. My
You have
my
another office that's not in the barn, that's in your house?
No, I just work in the barn. That's,
I need some photo references.
This is old McDonald over here.
This is, I need
well,
to
I
see
close it
this.
out. Like how you guys have this. Like imagine walking out that door and then like you're just with cows.
And
Like,
there's
that's
cows.
yeah, that's where, there's probably chickens outside my door if we were at my office.
Oh my God.
But
that's legit.
but I do have a super supportive wife. When we first got together, she was a vet tech, and so
The farm part's making more
yeah,
sense
so I
now.
tried to get her involved in the business. Like from the moment we met, like I've always done. I've always super involved her in like the budget every single month, like the numbers for the company. Like
Smart.
yeah, we're very, very simpatico. I'm really, really, really good at my job, at calling agents, at getting business in, and at closing loans. At everything else, I'm very, very bad at. Mm-hmm. So my wife is wonderful in that sense where like, I don't even know how to describe it to you, but like we make a really, really good team.
Love that.
She takes care of the house, I take care of the business, and we run it from there.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Especially at such a young age that you guys are. Like, a lot of people are still trying to figure out who they are, let alone partner with someone who's also trying to figure out who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys got it down.
Cool.
Yeah, like when I met her, I was like, "What are your goals? Like, what do you want to do? Like, I'm so driven. I want to have this, and I want to make $1 million. Like, what do you want to do?" And she was like,
Whoa.
"Yeah." I'm intense, and she's like, "I want to stay at home with my dog." And I'm like, "Okay,
we'll make that happen."
Like, you got to have something more realistic." And she's like, "Yeah, I want to have kids. I want to like take care of the kids."
And you're like, okay, I can work with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
I
All
swear
right.
to you, that was like our first conversation that we had.
That's
was
legit.
like,
I'd
I
love to
swear.
meet her. You got to bring her out more.
Right.
Yeah, we met, and then I think I've told you this before. Like we met, and it was like during COVID, and we met like May, and by June we lived together, and we've never looked back. Like it was like that.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Well, you seem like a man who knows what he wants, and once he has it, he's like, I'm going forward with this. This is what I want.
Yep. Yeah. I love that, man. It's awesome. You know, I think I want to kind of end it here. We're going to actually be short, almost on time.
We're
Look
going
at
to high
us.
five so hard after this.
You know, I would say what I want to end it with is when it comes to, you know, someone else looking to get into this. Well, let's start with this. This question I really wanted to ask you, right? For you, right? What makes an agent someone you want to work with? Like, what traits does an agent have for you to be like, you know what, that's my person? Because a lot of us have an idea of who we want to work with and why we'd work well together. Do you have like a perfect agent or an idea of what that looks like for you that would make the relationship work better? Or you just kind of vibe? You're like, you know what, we vibe, we work, and move on.
Super numbers oriented. So
I could see that.
yeah,
I could see that.
I can pull their numbers, and I can see if you're closing at least 10 deals in a 12-month running period. So now you're in my window.
Right.
If you do 10, you close at least $3 million. Your average sales price is 300. Like I have like a window that I want to work with.
Well, it makes sense because it makes sense for you. It makes sense for your time and for what you provide and value.
Yeah.
I do have to say, of a lot of the lenders that I've ever worked with, Doug is easily the most present. I mean, he's been at all of the events with my realtors. He's been at their brokers opens. He goes to their open houses. And my man will show up, even if he only has 20 minutes of his time to spare, he will give you that 20 minutes and he will be there to support you as much as he possibly can, which is freaking amazing. And that's why I love falling back on Doug, is because I can always count on him to be there. A lot of these lenders love to throw some money at an event or throw some things at an event, or, we know those lenders, and they're never there. They're never present. They never exist in their own business. And I'm like, oh my God, this is driving me bonkers. How do you expect to grow? How do you expect for people to know about you or know of you or want to work with you if you're never there? Right. Your logos are there, your signage is there, but you're not there. Like, they want to meet real people now. The COVID shit is over. This whole virtual, everybody's virtual. No, they need to meet, greet, vibe with, shake hands, and know the person they're working with. So I definitely commend you for that.
You definitely give off a good vibe, because we meet so many people, and we're we share our brain. So then we'll walk outside, we'll both be like, "Oh, that was exhausting," talking to that person. Yeah. But we don't feel that way around you. There's certain people that we don't feel that way around. It's very easy to be in a relationship with them.
I know, and you just said we're almost over. I'm like, we're just getting started.
Right?
I know. We'll have to do a round 2. But what I would say is what I would want to know from you is do you have an idea scope, or what things are looking like as far as where are we going?
What are your goals? What are your plans?
Oh Lord, I think we already got all that.
That's what he did to his wife.
We got all that down, girl. I'm talking more mortgage stuff. We've heard all these things. What are you seeing is happening? What are you seeing is the direction going? Some people are doing refis. Some people aren't doing refis. Some people are waiting. Some people aren't waiting.
I'm probably the worst person to ask that question.
Well, that's why we were interested in your answer.
Well, but you're honest with people, and you're a numbers guy, so you give people realistic outlooks on what things are. And you work, you work wholesale and all that, so you have all these different tools and people you can work with that other banks cannot, which I think is huge.
I feel like I'm a basic bitch.
You're like, I like regular purchases with a conventional loan.
No. In the sense that all right, so one thing I was going to mention that I don't think I did was learning from Jane. Everyone asked what her secret sauce was. And there was this piece of, she was a paper person. She'd have a lot of paper, but one piece of paper that she had was no one has papers. Look at your iPad.
I know, I'm an iPad.
I normally have a paper, but he said he's got this today.
No, but what I'm gonna say is she had this piece of paper, and it was called the greatness tracker, and on it was how many face-to-faces you've had for the week, how many break breads, how many phone calls. There was a few different things on there, right? But it was basically an activity tracker.
Could you get this for us?
Yeah, I can get you a copy.
One sheet.
Yeah. But anyways, and that was all she focused on. So for me in business, that's not all she focused on, but that was 90%.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
That's all I focus on. That is my focus. If I can just do my activity, then everything else will take care of itself. So when people are like, did you hear what Trump said? One of my buddies texted me and he was like, the Japan T-bill was 0, just went to 2. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah. I'm a finance guy, so I'm supposed to know all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm 3 calls short, brother. I got to make 3 more calls for my greatness tracker here.
I love that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
you don't get lost in the sauce. You don't get lost in the bullshit that everything's putting out there.
I got a couple buddies that really look into it. That'll text me what's going on with the market. My buddy, I got 2 buddies named Matt, but they're really into it. And I keep tabs on it just because buyers or even refinances are about 30-day closes. So I kind of know what's going on in the next 30 days. But forward, I don't know. I talked to someone yesterday. They were like, "Oh, I heard the rates are going to go up next year." I said, "Really?
Where'd you hear that?"
First time I heard that one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. I hear a different story every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing. That is such a freaking cool perspective. Look at that. I didn't even have to hit the bleep button. That's such a cool perspective because I think so many people get lost in the media of things that they don't do their job. They're so busy focusing on what could, should, or will, or won't, or may, or may not happen.
Think about this. Where are we at right now? We're in the end of November. We're going into December. It's holiday season. So what's everyone's mindset right now? It's kind of slow. No one wants to meet.
Circle back after the new year.
Yeah, that part.
So I told you about John, right? We're kind of changing John's role. Yeah. And I thought about that. I was like, well, maybe we should wait till after the first of the year. And I told him, I said, no, we're not doing that. We're not. Who cares what time of year it is? Who cares about anything? Right. The job is still the same. I have to show up. I have to make calls. So, but to answer your question, I mean, like I talked to me yesterday, I did think that rates are going to continue to drop into next year.
I agree with that.
I think that was your question, right?
Where do you think
it's going to go? Yeah. I mean, I think that, hopefully rates continue to drop and hopefully, what do you call that? Inventory. Hopefully inventory continues to rise and But other than that,
There's no crystal ball.
Yeah.
There's there's so many things, so many
I
factors.
think inventory
and-
needs to chill out. We got too much of it in the wrong spots. We need inventory in the hot spots. We do not need so much inventory in the non-hot spots because it's just driving their prices down.
like new build.
Like new builds are, because
Oh my
that's what
God.
everyone's flocking
Especially
to.
Wesley
because
Chapel, Land Lakes, like,
Well, it's crazy right now because they're offering like a 3.99 rate. So buyers are like,
Right.
I want it. And I'm
and
telling
all
them,
your closing costs are covered.
all your closing costs are covered. They're giving you the house, right? And so when I talk to people, I'm like, well, just be prepared. You're going to be in that house for 5 years.
Yep.
Unless you want a short sale.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
That was my next question.
That part.
So we get asked about short
Educate 'em.
sales all the
Educate 'em.
time. Are you seeing any short sales out there in your side?
Not as many as you'd think. But people are, I mean, look how many listings are sitting in new construction communities where they're selling the next house. They
Right.
bought it for $350, they're selling the house for $325 with a 3.99 rate. Like you can't compete. You're stuck in that house.
Yeah, I had that conversation with Susan a while back and how tough it is, even
Sussin.
in Connerton.
She goes by Sussin.
Sussin.
Sussy?
But like even in Connerton, like it's so hard to sell a what do you? I don't even know what you call it. Pre-owned home. What do you call the old homes?
Certified pre-owned
Certified
homes.
pre-owned CPOs.
CPO, yeah.
It's so hard to sell a CPO when you can go to the Lennar right now and buy one brand new, closing cost covered at 3.99%. Like, these poor people are like, yeah, but it's worth this much. Not anymore.
It's
Not
fake
anymore.
value, but
Right. And Zillow's wrong.
Here's the way I describe it: if you can stay there for 5 years and you like the smell of a new house, it's probably your vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Probably your vibe. That part.
Some people like the smell of new. I like new cars. So
I did. So yeah, I was complete tangent, but this has been the last thing I say, and then final up. But I did tell Pete. I said, to my husband, I was like, you know what? I want to get to the point where I'm so wealthy that anytime the new car smell wears off, it's just time to get a new one. I was like, I just want to do 1 year leases on everything.
So we didn't even really talk about anything cool, by the way. I really am passionate
was really
about
fun.
calendaring your day, how to calendar,
Actually, let's
like
end
what to
with
do
that.
in that sense, how to create a week at a glance, how to find out the key things that you need to do to make your business successful,
Yeah.
and how to execute that on every single week,
Yeah.
how to implement tactics and strategies. That's what I really like. So if you guys ever want to talk about that, that'd be really cool.
I would like for you to talk about it. Can you talk about it in like 5 minutes? Is that enough time?
We can go. I mean, we can go over it. It's fine.
Only
People will live.
because, like, that's an intense
All right, so here's
subject.
the thing.
It is,
So-
and not enough people are calendaring. I can't tell you how many
Right.
like successful realtors I've met that don't ever put anything in their calendar. They just kind of, nah.
All right, I'm going to run you through a quick journey, okay? When I first decided to get really serious about business, the first thing that I did was take 2 days to outline my business. And I did it in Word. I printed it to PDF. I went to Office Depot. I got a nice leather binder so I would feel special.
Of course.
I
It makes
laminated
you want to do it.
And then I got dry erase markers because I knew I would have to like edit this as I went along. And then every day I started with a week at a glance. I started with my business model, who I was going to call each day. So when I went in for the day, I opened it up to that day. Monday, I had 4 things I wanted to do. I wanted to call my contracts, my tasks, like I had 4 things that I wanted
need to be
do.
better with this. Yeah.
Okay, I've been doing this for 4 years now. So you're constantly tweaking this little bit by little bit. What I'm doing now is not the same thing I did 4 years ago. But if you're serious about business, you will create a plan and you will do minor tweaks to it all the time. You won't scrap the whole thing. You'll do minor tweaks to it all the time.
Okay.
So week at a glance. From there, I started calendaring my days. Like I have this meeting. So I would have my meetings for the day. And then what I started to do first was I would go out every hour, I would go back and put what I did. So I would have a full block on what I did. I did not calendar my day and then follow that. No, I figured out what I was doing first. And then from there, I did that for a few months. And then from there, I figured out, okay, now I'm going to proactively put my day in a calendar, right?
Okay.
And so from there, I would put sales, because you're doing the same thing every day. Like at
Right.
this point, I'm
Facts.
doing the very, very, very same boring things every day. I'm just doing them at high level, right?
Right.
So then you can start putting them into your day. I mean, I'm like very boring right now, right?
Boring is what makes money.
So you figure out what you can do, and then that's how I figured out my first hire was looking at my calendar and my drive time, right? And then from there, once you figure out your calendar, once you figure out what you're doing, then you're just optimizing that every single time. Now, people ask me, what database do you use? What database do you use?
That was one of my questions.
You know the best database to use? An Excel spreadsheet. Here's a database, right? A database is a list of people that you've worked with, okay? So you've got a list of past clients, and if you're a real estate agent, you've got a list of business partners. No one listens to this. You should all listen to this, but like you create a very simple system to reach out to them. Mel made a point. I don't know what to say. I sound awkward, right? That's what I'm saying. Like we could do a whole other podcast on like what to say, when to say it, how to say it. We can create a whole game plan for people to follow, what events to do. After I leave
some
this,
bonus episodes.
I'm going to a cigar event with a real estate agent. Me and him met, and he wanted to do some more business. And I'm like, "What are you doing for your past clients?" And he's like, "Well, I do this mailer, and it's very cool." And I'm like, "Cool. When's the last time you actually like called somebody?" And he's like, "Well, I haven't really done that, but I've got this 1,000 touch point thing." And I'm like, "Right, but when did you organically talk to them?"
Right.
"Well, I don't really. They'll call me." No, they won't.
No, they
You need to
won't.
call them,
No, they won't.
right? So we've created an invite for him to do the cigar event, and he invited a couple people. And I'm like, "Why haven't you invited everybody?" And he's like, "Well, some people aren't going to want to come." I said, "Perfect.
Doesn't matter.
Text KJ and say, 'Hey, KJ, I know
Right.
you and your husband have kids. You're probably not going to want to come to the cigar event, but I was just thinking about you guys. And next event, I'll definitely invite you to. On the off chance you do want to come, here's the invite for this thing.'"
Love that.
Just an excuse to get in front of them, right?
Very
Yep.
smart.
Yep.
So, anyways, I don't
It's
know.
not the event. It's
Damn.
the calling and inviting. They talk about
It's
this
the
in
personal
bold.
touch. It's that
Right.
If
warm
you're
and
not
fuzzy.
doing a lunch every single day with a prospect, then you're missing out. Why wouldn't you do a lunch? You have to eat lunch. Take someone to lunch. Like that's the craziest thing too.
Yeah.
You should have lunch every single day with somebody.
I think Grant Cardone says that, doesn't he? In
I
10X.
don't know. There's a book called 7 Levels of Communication by Michael Mayer. That's like a
Yeah.
huge book. Everyone should read that book.
Ooh,
That's a good one,
Add to
too.
cart. I didn't read
Yeah,
that
I've already
one.
read that. It's a good
Ninja
one.
Selling, another phenomenal book.
I
The
love-
reason
that's
Which
my
one?
favorite one.
The
Ninja
reason why I
selling.
like ninja selling is because
The
of the
first 40
idea
pages.
that, well, yeah, but well, maybe because the only thing I remember from that book is when you talk to someone, you look for change.
Yeah.
KJ, it's been a few months since we talked. How are the kids? How is this?
Yeah.
You're working with Milestone now, right? Okay. Are you mainly still going? Are you still going into Carrollwood? Or are you going down to? How's that drive right now for work? Maybe you need to make a move. Like you're looking for
Yeah.
opportunities for why they need real estate.
It's insane how many brokerages aren't teaching these basics, and I think that's a beauty of you as a
They
human
do
being.
teach them. People get overwhelmed with everything they have.
Oh my
to
God,
do.
they do a lot at the beginning. The first 8 weeks of chaos they put them through.
Well,
Yeah,
they have
so
to learn the contract.
beauty,
and the
though,
rules first.
Like this is what I love
Well,
about us.
But it's like what CRM should I use? Don't even use a CRM. Use an Excel spreadsheet.
It's free.
Put their name, phone number, email, the last time you talked to them,
Simple.
and what that note was. That's all I do in my database, and I can organize. I mean, I use Salesforce, but I can organize. I do before I met with y'all. I have my list for the day, and I organize by last touch, so I can see October 23rd was the last time I talked to
And
Bob
that's
Smith.
in Salesforce?
It's in Salesforce.
Oh, we need that one.
We got
Write this
yeah.
down.
Uh-huh.
me.
I'll
This is
take
how
a
you never miss
bookmark
anybody. And people
right
are like,
there.
"You're such crazy at follow up." It's like, I just created really, really simple programs that aren't AI. They're not auto driven. It's all manual that I made, but they're very simple and
Simple
easy.
as that. You literally just put the date in you last communicated, filter by the date, and sort it. Boom. Okay, here's the 5 people I haven't talked to in a month. What?
There's your money right there.
I think that's the
And
beauty.
then the calls are so easy. You just said it. In a month. A month is a key time frame because a month is enough time to go past where they haven't heard from me. Oh, it's been a month. Mel, what have you been up to?
Yeah,
dog?
what have you
How's
been
the
up to?
podcast?
What's
How's
going
this?
on?
How's Pete? How's
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this it's all
That's
easy
gold.
stuff.
Gold.
Were
Were you already
platinum?
gonna-
It's platinum. Fuck your gold. It's platinum.
It's diamond.
What's
So now,
titanium?
if you can
Diamond.
do that and you can leverage yourself, I've got probably 250 relationships that I'm managing on a monthly basis. We also do a birthday program. We do a couple, and then on Facebook and social media,
Yeah.
you guys are huge on that aspect of it. The way I look at that is, me and you are here right now, but I'm going to make a post and you're going to see that tomorrow. So it's just more of you seeing my face. I'm not
Right.
trying to go after people I don't know. I just want to be in front of the people that I
Damn,
already
we didn't
know.
even get into that. That'll be a whole nother episode. How hear your video stuff, how it's changed. I remember in the old office, you had that weird backdrop, and you were just sitting at your desk to what you're doing now.
Oh, the stuff you're doing now is
Yeah,
awesome.
I will add all his social medias, all his contact information in the show notes. You'll have all that if you want to watch, monitor, reach out to him. If you're
Definitely
looking
follow
for a lender that is no bullshit, fun, and will do all the right things, man. Communicate. This is your man. What I love about us, what I was getting into earlier is, I think what the beauty is title, mortgages are mortgages, lending is lending, right? But we all bring extra value to the table that other companies aren't doing. And I think the beauty of you what you do is that extra value that you're bringing to people is like the cigar event that you're doing and how you kind of coach this agent who's probably very successful as it is, right? They're probably doing pretty well, but you're able to be like, you know what, try this. It's not going to cost you anything. Try these tips real quick. Let me see if I can help you make some more money. And then what's going to happen? They're going to make some more money, make some new connections. And then that's because of you. You gave them that little tool. And now they're lifers. They're like, you know what, this
You gotta
man
think,
helped me.
I worked for a business coach for like 4 years. So I can
Right.
sit down with someone
Yeah.
for 30 minutes, look at your business, what you're doing, and figure out a couple things. Maybe
Quick
it's
tweaks.
a cigar event. Maybe it's having lunch once a week with somebody. Like I had one agent, she had 50 past clients, and I'm like, that's one lunch, once a week, one lunch once a week with your past clients. How many deals do you think you can pull if you do that? And she's like, probably 3 or 4.
There you go.
And I'm like, do you think it'd be worth it to do that?
I think
There's
so.
your Q1 right there.
And so I texted her the next day. I'm like, hey, I enjoyed meeting with you. She's like, wow, that was incredible. I've already set 4 meetings.
Oh.
Wow.
But maybe it's different for each person. So, you know, I would be happy to talk to anybody that wants to. I love this crap. So,
Same.
Oh my God, I love the passion behind it. We appreciate you being here, taking time out of your day. I know you probably got 475,000 calls backed up in the queue right now.
He's like,
But no, we appreciate you. Like I said, I'll have all Doug Smith's information listed in the show notes. Feel free to reach out to him. He's awesome. He can answer any of your mortgage questions. You know,
11
apparently
out of
he can
10.
teach you how to raise a cow and some sheep too. So, you know, anything you need, just you can do. And he's got really cool tattoos. So there's that.
nice.
But,
nice.
well,
Well,
but yeah.
Thanks for seeing you. What is that?
Oh,
it's an elephant.
it's random. I need a random
My
tattoo.
wife has an elephant. We got them when we got married because an elephant is the heaviest of all land animals, like the heaviness of our love for each other.
Oh.
An elephant also never forgets. Like, we'll never forget the vows that we made on that day.
Oh.
We were in Key West and we got these tattoos, and the tattoo artist named Turtle said, why are you guys getting elephants? And I totally made all that up right in front of him.
That's hilarious.
But it's true though.
Wow.
And it sounded so great. And so
He
I've
does
kept
this
the
shit to
story
me all the
going.
time. No, I don't
Yeah,
like. Sometimes I don't know what's real. He'll be
was
saying some shit. I'm like, wow, holy crap. He'll be like, I'm just kidding. I'm like, fuck. I believed every word.
Yeah, I made all that up.
Every word sounded legit.
I
But no,
loved it.
yeah, this was a lot of fun. Very educational.
fun. Let's do
we'll
it
have to do
again
some
and-
bonus episodes
I
because
know.
there's a lot more to go over. So coming soon to a new year near you. This is Melvin, and I'm signing off.
This is KJ, and I'm signing off.
Thank you.
I quit.